Hi there, this is Mark, and we are going to see if we can reduce this expression. So let's get zoomed in and started with some definition of subtraction in the numerator. This is really going to help us identify the common factors in the numerator. Also note that that operation of exponentiation has precedence over the operation of negation. Now we don't have to worry about this for too long because we're actually going to re-express that second term in the numerator as a product of the factors -1 and the power 3 to the x. Now we're going to switch our attention to the first term in the numerator. And this is quite tricky because now we're going to express this as a product of common base powers. So now I have the product of the factors 3 to the x and 3 to the power of 2. Now we normally use this law by taking some product of common base powers, and then we're usually asked to express it where we have that common base raised to the power of the sum of those exponents. So this can be a little bit tricky to see, but it's going to help us in our next step where we identify a common factor in the two terms. So once again, using the product of common base powers in the opposite direction. All right, so now that's just going to be plus -1, 3 to the power of x. And now you can see why we use that product of common base powers to re-express that first term, because we have now identified a common factor between the two terms in the numerator, and that is 3 to the power of x. And this is going to allow us to use the distributive law to express that common factor to the left here, and then we are just going to ask ourselves 3 to the power of x times what would give us that product of the first term in the numerator? Well, and that just happens to be 3 to the x. Next, we'll move to the second term here. What would we have to multiply 3 to the x by to get that second term in the numerator? Well, that would be -1. And we've now factored the numerator using the distributive law. Now, notice that we get a little lucky here when we go to evaluate the expression within the parentheses here. So we're going to get 3 squared, which is 9 plus -1, which is going to give us a sum of 8. And that works out really nice for us because now we have a common factor within the numerator and the denominator. So these factors of 8 in both the numerator and denominator are going to cancel to factors of 1. And that is going to leave us with 3 to the x times 1 over 1, which is going to simplify to just 3 to the power of x. And there you have it. We have reduced this expression. My name is Mark. Thanks for watching.